In this video, we are going to be talking about extraneous solution. Now, we have to find the extraneous solution in the following radical equations. It's very simple, but the problem now is you don't jump into what you don't know. You get? We cannot just say, we want to solve this when we don't know what's an extraneous solution. We don't know what is an extraneous solution. We don't know what is a radical equation. How are you just going to solve? You get? You don't do things that way. You get? So, an extraneous solution is that particular solution that when you solve, after solving that equation or after solving that problem, you have a value. That value that you have, you substitute it back into the equation, and then when you substitute back into it, it will not be equal. That means your left hand side will not be equal to your right hand side. Or in other words, I would say the equation is not balanced. After you have gotten the value, you solve it, you have a value, but when you substitute that value back into the equation, it will not give you the actual answer. That value that did not give you the actual answer is known as the extraneous value. You get? And then radical equations now are equations that involves square root. Any equations that involve square root is known as a radical equation. You get? So now here's the solution to this problem. For the first one, we are given for I, we are given root of x plus 4 to be equal to x minus 2. And as usual, for us to clear out this square root, we have to square both sides. To do that, I have root x plus 4, I'll square it, equal to x minus 2. I'll also square it, because anything you do on the right hand side, you have to do that same thing on the left hand side. So this square will cancel the square root. We are left with x plus 4 to be equal to, now x minus 2 all squared is multiplying x minus 2 times. You get? I would have just written the value of this, but for clarity's sake, I have to expand it. So x plus 4 will be equal to x times x will give me x squared, x times minus 2 will give me minus 2x, then minus 2 times x will give me minus 2x, minus 2 times minus 2 will give me positive 4. So x plus 4 will be equal to x squared minus 2x minus 2x will give me minus 4x plus 4. At this point, I'll move this x to this other side. So I'll have x squared minus 4x minus x. You know, when this positive x crosses over, we are going to have a negative x. So minus 4 minus x will give me minus 5x. And then 4 will cross over also. We have positive 4 here. So when this positive 4 crosses over, you're going to have a negative 4. So minus 4 plus 4 is 0. So that will be out. So now all of this will be equal to 0. We have a quadratic equation now, which we can solve using any of the methods we love to use. But now we have x squared minus 5x. So what I'll do is I'll factorize x, because I have x here, I have x here. So I'll factor out x. I'll have x minus 5 equal to 0. And you know that when two things are multiplying and they are equal to 0, it is either the one outside is equal to 0 or the one inside the bracket, x minus 5 will be equal to 0. So it's either x is equal to 0 or minus 5 will cross over to give me a positive 5. So at this point, x will be equal to 0 or x will be equal to 5. We have solved this and we have gotten these two values. No problem. The problem now is, let us substitute this value back into this equation, whether we are going to have the same thing. You get? So now let's check. If we do that, let's take for 0, when x is equal to 0, let's check it. Let's check. So this will be the square root of, anywhere I see x, I'll put 0 plus 4, because yes, x plus 4 equal to, x here will also be 0 minus 2. Now 0 plus 4 is the same thing as 4, equal to 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Now what is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2, equal to minus 2, which is wrong. You see, 2 is not equal to minus 2. 2 is not the same thing as minus 2. Now let's check when x is equal to 5. When x is equal to 5, here will be 5 now. So I'll have the square root of 5 plus 4 equal to 5 minus 2, because in place of x, I'm replacing it with 5. Now 5 plus 4 is 9, equal to 5 minus 2 is 3. The square root of 9 is 3, and 3 is equal to 3. So which means 0 now, which is one of the values we got when we solve the equation, is the extraneous value or the extraneous solution to this equation. Hope you're getting. The 0 that we had, that when we substitute back into, we are not having the same thing, because 2 is not the same thing as minus 2, but 3 is equal to 3. So 3 is the real value, while 2 becomes the extraneous value. You see, that is what extraneous value is all about. Now, this is the second one. What you have to do is exactly as I did this first one. That is how you're still going to do this. If you know you'll be following me, do this one and drop the answer in the comment section. See you in my next class. Bye.